So today we'll see how to handle date pickers or calendars. Okay, so the first of all, just like a web table, date pickers also a customized elements. So customized elements in the sense the design will be different from one application to another application. So you cannot see the same kind of a design every time. So according to the design, we have to change our automation script. Okay, so we need to handle automation script according to the design. So sometimes in a table, they provided internally some in the date picker, internally they provide some kind of a table drop downs, and sometimes they provide links. So by combining multiple web elements, they can frame or they can design a date picker or a calendar. Okay. So the calendar or date picker elements are customized elements, and that's the reason they can be different from one application to another application. So you cannot see the same kind of a date picker in all the applications. But the thing is, suppose if you're automating one web application, let's say it can be an e-commerce application or it can be banking or any other domain type of application you're automating. Let's say in that application, you have, let's say 10 different pages. And the same application, you have a 10 different pages. And you can see date pickers in multiple pages sometimes. And suppose if you have a multiple date pickers, which are belongs to the same application. So all of them are having same kind of a design. So they don't put one different kind of a designs on different pages because that is entire one web application, one single application. So everywhere you can see the date picker in the same format or same kind of a design. So if you write automation code for one single date picker related to that application, that can be reused in different type of date pickers, which is also belongs to the same application. So application to application, the design can be changed, but according to the UI or design rules, the throughout your application, they have to follow a same format of date pickers throughout your application. Okay, that is a one advantage which we have. So if you are developing one single automation script for one date picker, which is belongs to one single application, that can be reused for multiple date pickers. Okay, for example, let's say in your travel application, let's say date of uh, travel and date of departure and date of arrival. There are two different uh, calendars are there, date pickers are there. So both are having same design. Okay, one is a different design, another a different design is not possible. So both are having same kind of a design. So if you write automation script for one date picker, the same script you can reuse for other date pickers and the same application. Okay, remember this point. So now let me show you some types of one or two date pickers I will show you. And based upon that, you will know exactly how to handle, and accordingly, you can handle other type of date pickers. Okay, so first let me take a very basic jQuery date picker and how it will be. Let me show you first. Same kind of a logic we cannot use for all kinds of date pickers. So the logic will be different. Okay, so let me open an application. Just a second. Just a second. So let's take this page, and in this you can see one small input box, and when I click on it, this will open the input box. Okay, so sometimes what happens is the date picker is present in the form of input box. Okay, so if input box is allowing to provide the date, we can directly use send keys method. So you can input box, you can locate this element and dot send keys, and whichever data format it is accepting, you can provide the date in the double quotations, just like a string. So that is direct format or direct approach. So if the input box is allowing us the date by using send keys, you can use that approach directly. You don't need to implement any logic for that. But some applications, even though it is an input box, we cannot directly type date like this. We cannot directly type like this. So in that case, you have to handle the date or you have to select the date only through date picker element. Okay. So first approach, we can directly pass a date in the input box using send keys method. If it is working, then you can directly go with that. And suppose if it is not allowing to provide the date using send keys, then second approach is only through date picker we can handle it. We have to implement our own logic for that. Okay. So let's see how we can handle this date picker. So let's go to Eclipse, create new package, 34, new class. So date picker demo. Okay, fine. So let's try to analyze the date picker element. So if you look at this, this is a normal send keys method. So we can pass the data. So we need some input. Okay, so before that we need some input. So which year, which month, and which date you want to select from the date picker. So that we have to take first as an input. Okay, so now I have created WebDriver instance, then implicit weight, this application, and then maximizing the browser. So the first, we'll see the first method. Method one is using send keys method. Using send keys, we can directly do that. So you don't need to handle the date picker. In case send keys is not working, then try to implement the code. Otherwise, we can simplify the code by using send keys method. So let me inspect this element. And basically this element is present inside the frame. Can you see this? This is a particular frame. So now we need to handle this element by switching to the frame. We need to switch the frame. So currently we have only one frame in this particular page. So what I will do is I can simply write index. So before doing this handling, first we need to switch the frame. Switch to the frame. How we can do this? I can say driver dot switch to driver dot switch to dot frame, and then I'll pass index 0 directly because I have only one single frame. So this command will switch to the frame. Now inside the frame we have an element. Now the first option, using send keys, how we can handle. Inspect this element and go to selector hub. And you can see as soon as you look at this element, it is clearly saying that element is present inside the frame. You can use frame as a locator, or you can directly switch the frame by using index, whichever you want, you can use it. Now this is the element, input element I'm taking. That's an input box, date picker. I can say driver dot find element by dot xpath and dot send keys. And here you can pass the date in the proper format. So how we will know which format it accepted? Let's take some date, normal date. So the first one is a date. First one is a month. Second one is a date. Next one is a year. The same format, whichever format it is accepting, the same format you have to take. So which format it is? It is MM, YY, YY. So this is the format. This is the date format. Current date is accepting. So the same format you have to pass this data. So this is the current date. So whichever date you want pass, you can pass it. It will automatically select. Okay, let's execute. Perfect. Now you can see 4/5/2024 is got selected. Right. So just by passing the date here as an input in the string format, you can pass the date. But sometimes it may not work for your applications. If it is working fine, that's fine. So you don't need to implement a complex logic. But sometimes if it is not allowing to provide the value by using send keys, then we have to handle the date picker. So now let me show you another approach, how we can handle the date picker. And this is the most important one. So we need to implement our own logic. So the next one is method 2. So using date picker, we can select the date using date picker element. Okay, now if I go back and see the date picker element, so this is our date picker. Let me remove the date. So this is my, how we will get this date picker. Once you click on this element, you need to click on the input box. Once you click on this input box, then you will get the date picker element. Then here you can see month, year, and all the dates, everything you can see only when you open the date picker. So we need to first click on this. So for that, what I will do is I will take the same element, date picker element, whatever I have located earlier, dot, I'll say click. So this will open date picker. This will open date picker element. Okay, so once it is open the date picker, so before that we need to take some input. So which month, which date, which year you want to select from that. So all three we will take as a string variable. So string, for example, year I want to take. So which year you want to take? Let's say 2025. And then which month you want to take? I can say string month. Let's say 2025, I'll say May. And then I want to take a day also. I can say date. And you can say 20th. You can take randomly like this. So we will take some input like this. Or you can pass this input through console window. So from the user, we can accept this. Year, month, and date. So now these are the values we want to select from the date picker, right? So now let's click on this date picker and input box. This will open the date picker. So now let us try to understand something about this. So once you click on this date picker, so you can see something called, so we should always take a string because in the web application, everything is a string. Even though you can see the numbers here, right? This is also string. Year is also string. Okay, the month is also string. So whatever is appear in the web page, everything will be in the string format. Okay, but we are not capturing them. So if you capture them, we will capture them by using get text and in the string format, then we will convert into integer. But when you're passing the data to the application, everything should be allowed only in the string format. Okay, numbers we cannot pass. Even if you look at the phone number field in our application, if you look at the input field called phone number, even though you are passing the numbers into that, you have to pass the number in the string format. You understood my point? So input boxes means what? Text boxes. They are allowed the data only in the string format. The number format is not allowed, even though they are the numbers. And we have to convert the number to string, and then the string value we have to pass in the input box. Similar way, whatever data we are selecting from here, everything should be in the string format, the application. So that's the reason I'm taking a string. Understood? So why we have to take string here instead of number? Because if you take these numbers, at the time of passing this data to the date picker, again, we have to convert them into string format. So that is the reason we can directly take them into string format. Okay, so remember this point, this is a thumb rule. Any type of application, the input boxes or any data you are providing into the application, everything it should be string format. Maybe you have data in the different formats, but at the end of the day, once you passing the data to the application, that should be in the string format. So the target type is always string format. Okay. Now, if I look at this, this is the data I have taken. Now we need to select this particular year, month, and date from the date picker. Fine. So now what we need to do is once you click on this date picker, so first step, let us try to select the, if you look at this particular date picker, as soon as you click on it, by default, it will display the current month, current year, and current dates. So whichever date is got highlighted here, this is got selected. So now what we need to do is we need to first capture this one, the current month and year we have to capture. Okay, and let us first take the compare the month and year. So if I look at this field, month and year, inspect this month and year, both are having once, this is a month and this is a year actually, two different web elements. So this is a month and this is a year, two different web element, combinedly having one thing. So now what we need to do is we have to first capture these two elements, 2024 year and month. And after capturing them, you need to compare them with your expected month and year. Okay, if both are same, then we have to go and select the date from this table. This is also a web table. Internally, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. So these are all links which are present inside the web table. Okay. So first thing, we have to concentrate on month and year. So we need to capture them, compare with your expected month and year. If both are equal, then go and select the date. Suppose if they are not equal, so your month or year is not equal, then what you need to do? You need to click on this arrow mark. Then you will get another month and year. Again, compare with your expected. Not equal, then again click on one more time. Again compare. Not equal, then again click on one more time. So like this, how many times you have to click on this? How many times you have to click on this? Do you have any specific number? How many times you have to click on this? We don't know till we get our expected month and year, right? We don't know exact condition, but what we know is we have to click on this element till we get expected month and year. That's our expectation, right? But we don't know how many number of times you have to click, but we know how many times we have to click means till we get a expected month and year. Okay. In this particular condition, we have to use something called while loop because we don't know exact condition. We don't know exact condition, how many times we have to click on the next button. So we have to first capture this month and year, compare with your expected month. If it is equal, then okay, we will go with the date. If it is not equal, then we need to click on the right arrow mark. And again, we'll get another one. Again, capture and compare, not equal, then again click on this arrow mark. And again, capture and compare, then again click on this arrow mark. But somewhere, exactly the month and year will be matched. Once it is matched, then we will exit from that loop, then go with the date. So year and month selection is a different, date selection is the second part. Okay, the first part we will focus how to capture the month and date from this element. So if I inspect this element, month element I'm inspecting, or yeah. So let us inspect the month element and go to selector hub. Okay, now this is the XPath I'm going to take. So first element, suppose tomorrow if the month is got changed, will this XPath works? Yes or no? So here it is generated an XPath called using tag name and attribute. We are not creating XPath by using the text, right? So definitely this will work. Suppose if you just go to another month, same XPath, still it is able to point the month. So I'm taking this XPath and I'll capture the month. So how to capture the month? Yeah, the value can be changed, but the still our XPath is pointing to the element or not. That's what I want. Okay, so we don't know how many times we have to click on this element to get expected month and year. So what we need to do is we need to write a looping statement. So which loop we have to use? The first one, select or yeah. So select month and year. This is the first logic we need to focus. Then we will think about the date. So first we need to check month and year. So for that, I'm writing one while loop. Every time I'm making as a true. Okay, I'm not putting exit condition here. I just say only true. Means this while loop will always repeat infinite times. But internally, I'll put one condition. So in the while loop, what I will do is I will capture month and year first. So how to capture month and year? Let's go to this XPath. This will give you month. So inside this driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay, and dot, how we can capture the text from this web element? How to capture the text? Dot get text. Right? So what this will do? This will return month. Actual month in the application. This will return actual month in your application. So that I'm going to store in a variable, and I can take one variable called current month. Whatever is captured, I'm calling it as a current month. And what is this variable is string form. Now, similarly, I will also take the year. So inspect this year. And this is a XPath which is created for year. Now, will this XPath work for other years? Let's check. I just want to make 25. And still, this is pointing to year. Let's use it. So again, driver dot find element by dot XPath. And from this, we are getting the text. So this is a year we capture from the application. This is your current year. Okay, so this will return actual year from application. Actual year from application. So these are the expected data. This is a expected data. Expected data. So I can put before that, okay? Right. So this is our expected data, and this is the actual data we captured. So now the next step is what? We need to compare. As soon as you capture, you need to compare. So if both should be matched, month and year, both should be matched, right? So now the current month dot equals our month, expected month. Okay, and one more condition. Not only month, year also should match. And the current year dot equals and our expected year dot equals our expected year. So if both are matched, what does it mean? We have to go with the date directly. So if both are matching, this is our expected year and month, then we have to go and select the date. So this date selection, we will write another looping statement. We have to handle this in the form of web table. So for now, let us focus only on the month and year selection. Date selection is another part. So if the current month and year is matching with our expected year and month, then what we should do, we should break the loop. We should break the loop. That means you no need to go further dates and month. So as soon as the expected and actual month and year is matched, then you have to break the loop. So now, even though this condition, while loop condition is true every time, but whenever this condition, internal condition is true, the break command will make while loop break. Okay. Suppose if both are not equal, either month or year is not equal. So then what we should do, we should click on this arrow, the next arrow mark, so that we'll get another month and year. So how many times we have to click like this till we get expected month and year? So as soon as you get an expected month and year, if condition will match, and the break, it will break the loop. If it is not matching, then what we should do is we should go and click on the next button. So we can simply say even else is also not needed. Okay. So if this is not matching, if it is matching, immediately break the loop. Suppose if it is not matching, if condition will not execute, then here we have to click on the next button. So let me find this next button. I will also show you how to select the previous dates. Okay. First, we will try to handle the future years, future months and everything. So this is a XPath I'm trying to use. So this is pointing to the next button. I am using it. Go back. And after coming out from if condition, here I'm creating driver dot find element by dot XPath, specify that XPath dot click. So this is a next button. Else is not needed here because why? As soon as you capture current month and year, we'll compare them. If both are equal, break will execute. It will exit from the while loop. So once a break is executed, it will not execute the next statement. Immediately the while loop will break. Suppose if the condition is not matching, this block will not execute, but obviously the next statement anyway, it will execute. Okay. Now this particular loop will decide month and year from the application. Okay, let us test this code now. So I have given 2025 May 20th. Exactly once it is reached 2025 May 20th, then it will stop clicking on this button. It should stop clicking on this button. Okay, now let us try with some dates. So I have given 2025 May. Forget about the date. Okay, we'll select the date later. Focus only on year and month. 2025 May. Let's try to and execute. 2025 May. Just observe. Yes. Now we can see as soon as you got May 2025, it is got stopped. Okay. And once it is stopped, then we will handle the dates on the particular month, May 2025. We will try to select one of the date. So this particular logic will help us to select month and year, expected month and year, whichever month, whichever year, whichever month you specify, that will go and select. Okay, this is for the future year and month. Okay, so if you want to do the same thing for past year and month, so then instead of clicking on the next button, you have to click on the previous button. So for example, I want to select 2022 or 2023 May 20th. 2023 May, let's say 15. This is an old date. Okay, so then what you should do is same thing it will work. Again, we have to capture the current month year, compare with them. If it is not if it is matching, break the loop. If it is not matching, then what we should do, instead of clicking on the next button, we have to click on the previous button because we want to go back. So now inspect this element, previous button, and this is the next path for the previous button. Copy this. Yeah, as soon as the condition is matched, the break will exit from the while loop. It will not go to the next level. It will not go to the next. Okay, as soon as this if conditions match, break is executed, then this command will not execute because the break command will completely exit from the while loop. Got my point? So as soon as if condition is matched, the break command will exit from the while loop itself. So it will never go to the next statement. If the condition is not matched, then only it will click on the next button. Okay, now we want to select the previous one, 2023, previous year, month, and date. So simply instead of next, you need to just click on the previous. So I can say driver dot find element by dot xpath. You can specify that xpath dot click. So this will go to previous one. So let's test this code now. So 2023 is my previous year, May 15th, 2023 May. Forget about the date. We will see date later. Year and month. Focus on year and month. 2023 May. Execute. So 2023 May. Yes. You can see exactly it is stopped here. May 2023, exactly it is stopped. Okay. So now, once it is stopped, May 2023, so we successfully check previous year, previous and past. Both are perfectly working according to the conditions. And you need to know one important thing is, if you select any date picker, if you look at any date picker, in that date picker, you should able to select either future dates or past dates. But both are not allowed in one single date picker. That's a real use case. But in the demo date pickers, you will see both actually. But in the real use case is what? In your applications, you can see either, you can select either future or you can select either past. Both are not possible at a time. So let me give you an example. So for example, let's say you have a form, let's say date of birth. You want to select a date of birth from the date picker. Just observe. So let's say this is my DOB field, date of birth field. So in the date of birth field, from the current date, you will able to select only the past dates, right? You cannot select the future dates. You cannot select the future dates. Only the past dates you can select. In the date of birth field, It allows to select only the past months, past years, past dates, but you cannot select the future. Suppose if you take any travel application, so you have to select the departure time and the return date, right? Departure date and return date. So from the current day, you should able to select the future one only. You cannot select the previous day or previous month or previous year. It is allowed only future months, future year, future dates. That means what? In the real-time use case, the date picker, whatever you can see in your application, either accept future or will accept past. Both will not be accepted at once. But in the demo kind of date pickers, both are accepting because they are just providing us for demo purpose. But in the real applications, either it will work future or it will work past. Both will not allowed. Got my point? So in this application also, whatever date picker we are automating now, currently it is accepting both. But we can do only one at a time. Either we can go to the future or we can go to the previous. Okay. So whichever you want, you can enable the statement for now, because this is just for demo purpose. I'm using this date picker, but in the real-time use case is totally different. Fine. So let me go to the next one. So again, I can make this as a 2025 May and 15th I've taken. Let's go and execute one more time and see date and month and year is selection properly or not. 2025 May. 2025 May. Fine. Now you can see exactly May 2025 exact it is got stopped. So now once the date and month is got selected and date month is got selected, the second step is what? We need to get the date. Yeah, we need to get the date. We need to select the date. So third one is pending now. This we have to select. Now the next one. Select the date. So for that, we need to write another logic. So how to select the date from the date picker? Suppose you have some month and year is got selected. Okay, for example, here you have some table. So the table is common in every month and year, but some of them are empty, some of them are having field, some of them are again empty like this. This is a table. So now what we need to do is we have to select the date from the table. But which date you want to select? Whichever date you want to pass dynamically, that particular date you want to select from this date picker. Okay. So to select the date picker, the date can be, for example, let's say 10. The 10 can be anywhere in this table. So currently in April 2024, this is the place. But if we go to the next month, the 10 will appear in this particular cell. If I go to another month, again 10 will be here, somewhere, here. And if I go to the next month, 10 will be here. So the element keeps changing the location. If you take any date, that will not be placed at the same location every time. So that keeps changing, depends on the month and year. The date can be anywhere in this particular table. So if you inspect this particular table, this is all one single table actually. You can see there's a table tag you can see. In the table tag, you can see head, this is a table header. And if you go to the T body, you can see TRs. In every TR, you can find TDs. Inside the TD, you can see the date. You can see here 1. And if I go back here, you can see 2. So if you look at this particular date picker, even though it is a table, in the table, the dates or the elements are dynamic. They will not display every time in the same place. They keep changing the position. So what we need to do is we have to capture all the dates, including these empty values. Because in the next month, maybe the empty values are filled with some values here. So suppose here it is free now, but in the next month, see the values are appeared in the first positions. So this is more dynamic in nature. So what we need to do is we have to capture all the dates from this table, every date, including the empty spaces. We have to capture everything. Then whichever date you want to select, we need to check that particular date in this table. Okay. First of all, let us capture all the dates. How to capture multiple elements? In the table, there are T body. There is a T body. Inside the T body, there are multiple TRs. From every TR, there is a TD tag. So we need to capture the value from the TD tag. Now just observe, I'm writing one XPath. So first let's go to the table. This is my table XPath. Inside the table, I'm directly go to T body, and now it is pointing T body. Inside this, I'm pointing TRs, all the TRs, because we're not providing any index. So by default, it is selecting all the rows. In every row, I want to select a TDs, every TD. So I can say TD. Just observe. This XPath is pointing all the dates, including the spaces, because maybe in the next month, these cells may be filled with some date, right? So we need to capture everything from the date picker. So this is the XPath we can use. Let's copy this. And this will return single web element or multiple web elements. Multiple web element, because everything is a date here. Everything is a date. So inside the TD, actual dates are present. If you go back in the TD, so the date is present here. Okay. So now let's go back. If I look at here inside the TD, again, there is an anchor tag. So inside the anchor tag, the value is there. So inside the TD, we should also go to anchor tag. Anchor tag. Now exactly is the pointing. So now will this XPath work for the next month? So now if I look at here, all the dates have gone selected. Suppose if you go to the next one, will it work? Selecting all the dates. Perfect. Now again, go to the next one. Will it work? Perfect. Again, go to the next one. Select. Perfect. So in every month, it is capturing actual dates, whatever it is also eliminating the spaces. Have you observed? So it is exactly capturing the dates. So now let us use this XPath to capture all the dates from the particular month. So I can say driver dot find elements by dot XPath and dot XPath. That's it. We are not getting, we will get all the elements in a single variable. So here I'm taking a variable called dates. Okay, dates. And what type of variable it should be? It should be what? It is list of web element. So all dates I'm captured, and this should be list of web element. Sorry, list collection, list of web element. So why? Because we are using find elements. Find element method will return always list of web element. Perfect. So now we captured all the dates. Now we need to select one date. So now how we can write it? So we captured all the dates. Now we need to read one by one, each individual date, and compare with your expected date if both are matching, and then go and click on that element. That's it. So now let me write a enhanced for loop. You can write normal for loop also, but enhanced for loop is more easier. So I'm taking all the dates, and each and every date element, I just want to read in a variable. Let's say I'm taking one variable called dt. And what's the type of this variable? What's the type of this variable? From all the dates, I'm reading each and every date one by one into this variable. What's the type of this variable? Is web element, obviously. It's a web element. Now, from this web element, we need to immediately, we should not click, right? Because we need to know what is the text of this data that we are comparing with our expected data. So from this particular dt, okay, and we need to get the text from it, okay, and that should be equals to our expected date, whichever is specified before, should be expected data. And this should be in if condition. If dt dot get text equals to date, okay, then what we should do now? We should click on the dt. So dt dot click. And as soon as you click on the date, do we need to compare with other dates? No. So immediately break the line. This is how we need to write. So from all the dates, we are reading one by one each date into this variable. If this particular dt.text equal to our expected date, then click on this web element. dt is representing what? Web element. So click on the web element, click on the date. As soon as you click on the date, do we really need to compare? Suppose I given date is 10. So here it is matched. So it is got clicked. So rest of the dates, we no need to compare. So that is the reason as soon as the match is found here, I break the loop. I click on that element and then immediately break the loop. Suppose if the date is not matching, then it will get another date. Again, it will come. So this loop will repeat till we will get expected date. So this particular logic will help us to select the date from the date picker. And this particular logic will help us to select the exact month and year from the date picker. That's it. This is the whole logic. So let us test this with the different dates and months and years. So for now, I just said 2025, May 15. It should select 2025, May 15. Let's execute and see. 2025, May 15. So May 2025 stopped. Again, 15 is got selected. 15 is got selected. Okay, let's take some other year. Let's say 2026, April 10th. 2026, April 10th. And when I provide the input here, you need to exactly provide the right value because that should be matched with here. Suppose if you give one space before and after, or instead of capital letter, if you give lowercase character, it will not work. Okay, please check it properly. So 2026, April 10 is my date. Execute and see. 2026, April 10th. Yes. 2026, 04 representing April, 10 is a month. So 10 is a date. Yes, the values are case sensitive. So because exact number, there is no problem. But when you pass the month, okay, so first letter should be capital, rest of them should be this. Because the same way, the date picker is also there. You can see in the date picker, the text value is same. So whatever the text value is displaying, exactly same text we have to pass. First character is uppercase character. So if you provide all our capital letters, it will not match. Even if you provide all the lowercase also, it will not match. If you give any spaces before and after, it will not match. So exactly capture from this and then put here. Okay. So this is a one type of date picker. Now let me just simplify this. For example, let's say you have multiple date pickers in our application. All are having same kind of a format, same kind of a design. Now I want to reuse this particular code for multiple date pickers. Then how we can make it happen? So as of now, I have written simple code. This will work for only one date picker. Let us say in my application, I have another date picker. Just it is similar to this. I have another date picker. Now, how can we reuse the code multiple times for multiple date pickers? So instead of writing the code like this, we can create user-defined functions or user-defined methods. Okay. So what I will do is I will create a user-defined methods. So for that, what I will do is I will remove this particular piece of code because this is a code which will select month and year, month and year. So I will remove from here. Okay, after closing the main method or before going the main method, I will write one user defined method. Okay, user defined method. For example, let's say I'm directly creating a static method so that I can directly access from the main method. So select void, select void, select void, static void, static void, select month and year. So I have created one user defined method and inside this, I will put this code. So for selecting month and year, I'll put this code here. Just observe. This is a user defined method I have created. So whenever I want to select the month and year, I will just call this method. Okay. So that just copied the same piece of code. This is one method I created, but we need some parameters into this. If you want to, when you call this method, we need some parameters. What is the parameter? We are using the driver instance, right? So we will take first parameter is WebDriver driver parameter we need. And another parameter is what? Apart from the driver, we need month and year, because here we are using month and year, expected year and month, right? That also we need to pass. So string month we required, string year also we require. Okay, so string month and string year. So three parameters are required. So one driver parameter I'm using to find the elements, string parameter, which is month comparing, and year also comparing with the expected. So this is one user defined method I have created. For what? What it will do? It will select month and year. So whenever you want to select month and year from the date picker, you just need to call this method by passing three parameters. Now, similar way, I will create another method. I remove this particular piece of code, select the date. I'll remove this particular piece of code, remove from here, and you can put that in the same method, or else you can write another method possible. Static void select date. Select date. And in this, we can put this code. This is for, this method is for what? Selecting the date. Selecting the date. Okay, so we can simply say, still we can make it more simpler than this. I'll make it happen, just hold on. Okay, so this is a if condition part of the file. So what are the parameters are required here? Driver is required again. WebDriver, two parameters are required. WebDriver, driver is needed. What else we need? What else we required? Date. This value also we need, right? Expected date. So string date is also very important. So two parameters are enough. So one method is for select month and year, or another method is for select date. You can have two methods like this. And then from the main class, from the main method, after clicking in the date picker, you just need to call those methods. So what is the first method? We need to select the date. So month and year. So call this method. When you call this method, because it's static method, we can directly call. So first we need to pass a driver as a parameter. Then what we need to pass? We need to pass a second parameter. Second parameter is what? Driver, month and year. So here I'm passing month variable, then I'm passing year variable. That's it. So this month, this particular method will take three parameters and it will execute this first method and select the month and year. Similar way, I'll call another method, select date. So once month and year is got selected, select date. Here we have to pass two parameters, driver and date. That's it. So we can simplify the code. Now these two methods we can call whenever you want, or you can create these two methods in a separate class, create an object of that class. Through that object, you can call these methods. Okay, and we can do more simpler. Let me try to execute this first. Instead of two methods, I can also create one single method. So that whenever you want to select the date from the date picker, you can call one method, one single method. You can call from all the date pickers. Now it is perfectly working. So let's make one single method. It's more easier than this. Okay. So for example, select month and year. Okay. I can simply say select month, and instead of this, I will say select a future date. Okay. Just observe. Select a future date. And I will also remove this part and I'll put in the same thing. Okay. I'll put in the same method. And second method is no need actually. I can just remove this. Okay, now observe. So this is the first method. This method I created for what? This method is created for selecting future date in the sense, again, month, year, date, everything. So future date. This method is created. Now, what are the parameters are required? Driver, month, year. Also, we need date. We need date. The parameters this time. So this will select the month and year, and this logic will select the date. Everything should be in the one method. Select a future date. Okay, and this statement is enabled. Now, if you want to select the past data, now I copy the same method, another method. I duplicate this. Same method. And this time, this is for what? Selecting past data. And instead of future, I say past date. And same number of parameters, but instead of clicking on the next one, you should click on the previous button. This is only one single change. Rest of them are exactly same. Same logic, same date selection, everything is same. But we have written two different methods. One is select future date is one method. Select past date is another method. Now, based upon your requirement, you can call whichever method you want. Suppose even this is also not required. You can directly pass into the variable. So these methods are not needed. So as soon as you click on the date picker, just you need to call the method. So which method you want to select? Suppose I want to select the future date, then call this method. Select a future date and pass parameters whatever you want. So first parameter is what you need to know the format. Driver we have to pass, then year we have to pass, let's say 2025. After that, month you have to pass, and then you have to pass date, let's say 20th. Everything should be in the string format. Or else you can take the variables also. You can take the variables just like previously I can take, right? So year equal to 2025. If you want to pass variable, you can pass string month equal to May, string date equal to 10. So either you can pass these variables into this method or you can directly pass the data. So first driver, and here I'm passing year. Here I'll pass month. Here I'll pass date. Perfect. Done. So more simplified. So this is a way we can reuse. Suppose in the same application, if you have another, suppose multiple date pickers. So whenever you have a date picker, just call one single method. Just pass driver year, month, and date. So this will able to select. So if you want to select the future date, you can call this method. Suppose if you want to select the past date, because both are at a once is not happened in the real case. But if you still want to call past date, you can call this method. Select a past date. Only one method at a time. So here I can pass this. Now execute and see. So this is the way we can simplify the code. Same piece of code we can reuse multiple times. So once you created user-defined methods, you can call it multiple times. It is still going on here. Why? Because somewhere the month is not matching. So maybe there is a spelling mistake. Let's stop it. There is small spelling mistake, I think. So year 2025, May 10th. In the future date, I'm passing driver, year, month, and a date. Year, month, and date. In the same order or not, we need to check. See, first we are taking month actually. So that is a problem. So let me put this parameter here. So driver here, first driver, then year, month, and a date. And same thing here also. First put this year before the month. Year, month, and a date. Okay, now execute. So here we have taken 2025 May 10th. Okay, now we can select 2025, 5th is representing the May, 10th is got selected. And suppose if you want to select the past one. So this is your future date. Now I want to select the past date. enable this. So instead of 2025, I can say 2023 or 2022 May 10. 2022 May 10. Yes, 2022 May 10 is got selected. Perfect. So this is how we can create our own user-defined methods, and we can reuse it for multiple date pickers. Once you have this piece of code, you can call it in multiple times just by passing the parameters. Same logic will work. But again, throughout the application, whatever date pickers you can see, all are having same kind of a design. So that's the reason same logic work for all kinds of date pickers, especially related to this application. This is one type of date picker. The same logic will not work for other type of date pickers from other applications. Okay. So whichever is needed, you can call this method. Suppose you have a two date pickers. In the first date picker, you have to select the past date. In the second date picker, you have to select the future date or current date. In this case, you need to call two times. For first date picker, you have to call select past date. And the second date picker, you have to call a future date. Two times you need to call in that case. Especially in the bank statements, you can see, right? If you want to pull the statement, you need to select from which date to which date you want to select. So in the first date picker, suppose you want to select the previous year, previous month and year, you need to call the past one. So past date. In the second date picker, you have to select the future date. And accordingly, a statement can be generated. Suppose if you want to select between two dates, two date different pickers. In some applications, we have time along with the date picker, how to handle the time in that case. So time is also same format. You need to also capture the time, just like we capture the date and month, right? Similarly, you can also capture the time. And according to the time, if it is matched, then you need to write another logic, just like we have written one logic for selecting the month and year, and this is for selecting the date. Similarly, you need to add another logic for selecting the time, comparing the time also. So you need to change the logic time to time. So it depends upon the design. And for that, logic is most important. Okay, now I'm going to show you another type of date picker that will be different than this one. Okay, in that case, we need to compare the dates and everything. Let me show you this. Okay. So everybody's understood this. This is the one type of design. I'll show you another type of design. So how to differentiate in our script for two date pickers? You just put the name, right? Because here, this is one date picker I have. So, okay, so go to the main class. So here, this is the one date picker I have. I click on it. Suppose we have another date picker, again, find that element and click on it. So two different date pickers. And for this date picker, I have called this particular method or this one. And if you have another date picker, try to find that element and click on the date picker and try to call this method multiple times. Okay, so this is a one date picker. And if you have another date picker, again, the XPath will be different, right? So you can easily recognize. All right, so let me show you another type of date picker. This is another design. Sometimes you can see this type of design. So I go back to this. Here in this particular form, you can see this DOB field, date of birth. If you click on this, send keys is not allowed, or if it is allowed, you can use send keys method, or else we need to click on this icon. Now it will display the date picker. And if you look at here, the year is part of the drop down. It is more simpler. So for the year, we no need to do any looping condition. For the year especially, we can directly select the year from the drop down. We can directly select the year from the drop down. Suppose I want to select
some year, let's say here, even though it is a date DOB field, we can see future years also, because this is just a demo kind of a date picker, but normally it will not happen like this. If it is a date of birth field, we can select only the future years. Up to 2024, it will display. Up to 2024. Other than 2024, greater than 2024, it will not display actually, if it is a really date of birth. Okay, and they will disable. But this is a demo type of calendar, so it is displaying everything. Okay, fine. So from this calendar, we can select the previous and future, everything. Past years, future years, everything we can select. So let me show you one logic. For example, I want to select, suppose 2025. So we can directly select that from this dropdown. Whichever year you want, you can select from this. But here, the challenging thing is, suppose I'm selecting 2025. Month is a major challenging here. So in the 2025, which month you want to select? By default, it is giving April. Okay, now I want to select proper month. For the month, there is no drop down. So for example, let's say 2025, March, I want to select. 2025 March, I want to select. 2025 March is a future or past? 2025 March means 2025 we have selected from the drop down. That's fine. Now I want to select March. According to the 2025, March is the future or previous? 2025, according to the year 2025, March is the future. Means what? We have to click on this arrow mark. But if you click on this arrow mark, will you get a March? If you get the next March, it will become 2026. See, if I get the next March, it become 2026. This is the problem. Okay, this is the problem. For example, let's say I want to select 2023 January. I want to select 2023 January. I want to select from the same date picker. So now 2023 Jan. So let me click on it. 2023 I'm selecting from this drop down. From the 2023 Jan, I want to select. Where we can find January? January is a previous or past? According to the 2023, January is a previous or a past? Past in the sense, what we need to click? We need to click on this arrow mark. If I click on this arrow mark, we will get the January 2023. Perfectly fine. Okay, but this is the problem. When I select in the future, it will be the problem. So from the year wise, there is no problem at all. We can directly select from the drop down, but we need to check this month is a previous or past. Accordingly, we have to select. Okay, so we will handle this date picker in a different way. So we should not compare this with our previous logic, because this is totally different. Okay, now we'll see how to handle this calendar. So date picker demo 2. And in this example, I'm trying to use some predefined classes, some new methods which are not used in the previous example. Okay, just okay. So for that, first of all, we need to. So handling the day will be the same. Yeah. So day will be the same because this is a simple table. So we need to capture all the days and we will select one of the date. Only the challenging thing here is month. Year also we can easily select from the drop down. Only the month is a challenging thing. Okay. So we'll see how we can handle this. So first of all, I'll take the same part again. We will get, so driver instance. Okay, and after that, implicit weight, then I'm launching my page and maximizing the page. And this is the input I want to select from the drop down input. So because this is a DOB field, I'm taking 22. Later we can change future month, future year and everything. So this is the data I have taken. So required year, required month, required date, year, month, and date I have taken. So 20 or 21 June, something I have taken. That's the input. Now, so we'll see how to handle this. And basically this particular date picker is present inside the frame. So we need to switch to this. So how can we switch to this? If I inspect this element, so just inspect this element. Go to selector hub. Say this is element inside the cross origin frame. It is not only frame, it is iframe basically. So this is getting from a different website, form site, something. Okay, so inspect the frame first. So this is a frame. Okay, so if you inspect this page, you can see something called frame name or ID somewhere. Okay, so we can see somewhere this is a form. So this is the form. You can see method is equal to post, ID equal to fs form, and action. What are other things we have here is, and this is the body form. I can see something called frame iPhone 1. Okay, so let us see this one. Let's take this ID. So I can directly get the ID. Oh, okay, guys. So this is the iframe actually. Sorry. So not this one, not a form, iframe. So this is a tag we need to look for. So this is the iframe. Can you see? As soon as I highlighted this HTML, the whole iframe is highlighting. So there is ID value available. So I'm taking this ID. If the name or ID is directly available, you can switch the frame by using ID or name, whatever. So first I will switch to the frame. Okay, so how to switch to the frame is driver dot switch to dot frame. You can directly pass the ID. So you no need to write by dot ID. Locator is not needed. If name or ID is available for the frame, okay, you can directly use it in your command. So driver dot switch to dot frame. This is ID I have used. So this will switch to the frame. So once it is switched to the frame, now we need to click on the icon. So if I look at this, this is the icon we want to click on it. So if inspect this element, just inspect only this icon element, you can see something called span class icon calendar and role equal to button. So for this, we need to capture the XPath. Now you can clearly see this particular element is part of this frame, but it is not giving the ID or anything. So let's take this class and write our own locator. Span is a tag, class is an attribute. So I will write our own locator //span @class, specify the class, press enter. So currently it is saying 0 element, but because it is the part of the frame. So that's the reason it is not able to locate, but still it is fine. So let me use it. Span @class equal to, sorry, syntax errors. Single quotes, 0 element, but still that's fine. So because it's inside the iframe, so we cannot directly get into the iframe by writing XPath. So, but still it is working because 0 elements in the sense, no problem. Why it is giving 0 element? Because this element is a part of the iframe. So this is not the regular frame. This is iframe. Iframe is a frame. What is the difference? Iframe means these elements are this entire page is coming from the third party page, embedded page. This is actually embedded page. And what is the actual URL of this iframe? If you want to look, this is the URL you can see, form method ID action. So somewhere you can see the, this is the action, f24.formsite.com, right? You can see some URL. So if you open that URL, you can see the actual form. Okay, so this is the XPath I'm trying to use, not this one. This is the XPath I'm trying to use to get the that particular element. Sorry, not this one. It is got changed, I think. Span element. Inspect. Okay, so this is span //span at the rate class equal to class is what icon underscore calendar. Icon underscore calendar. So now I'm trying to use this XPath to get the date picker icon and I will perform the click action. So once we switch the frame, then we can say driver dot find element by dot XPath dot click. So first command will switch to the frame. Second command will click on the date picker icon. So let us test this. So once it is launched, it should click on the date picker. Yes, now we can see it is successfully clicked on the date picker element. So now we can see drop down month, label, dates, and everything. So first let us focus on the year because it's very simple. Drop down, right? So we'll select the year. Select year. Yeah, how to select the year? We need to first get the element. So once you click on this drop down, so this is the drop down we want to locate. So inspect this drop down. So if I go back to the HTML, you can see the select tag. Okay, and also there is a class attribute UI date picker year. So by taking this class attribute, I will get the drop down as a web element. So how to write our XPath? / select at the rate class equal to UI date picker hyphen year. So zero element. Why? Because these elements are inside the iframe. We cannot directly get them. So I'll copy this XPath. Okay, this is the XPath I'll copy and then create a select class object. How to handle the drop down? Select. This is my year drop down. Year drop down equal to driver dot find element by dot XPath. So this is the year drop down. So this is the element actually. So this web element you have to pass in the select class object. So we capture the web element. We capture the web element and this web element we have to pass into the select class object. Select. Okay, and here I say select year drop down, select year equal to new select year. Sorry, new select. And inside this, we have to pass the web element. So now we need to import select. So now by using this object, I can select the year from the drop down. So because we already know this, I'm not explaining in detail. So how to handle the drop down? First, we capture the drop down as a web element. Then I passed into select class. I got an object. By using this object, we can select the value by using visible text or index or value, whatever, right? So I'm using select by visible text dot select by visible text. And here I will pass required year because it is a year drop down box. So with this code, year is got selected from the drop down. So whichever year we pass here, that year will be selected automatically. So when I execute, 2021 should be selected. Yes. You can see on the drop down, you can see 2020. Perfect. Now year is successfully selected from the drop down. So now the major challenging thing is what? Month. So month you have to select. So the problem is, as soon as you selected some 2021, for example, I say, and in the 2021, okay, I want in the 2021, I want to select, for example, Jan. 2021 Jan, I want to select. Now, when I click on this arrow marks, will it work? If suppose in the 2021 January, I want to select. If I click on this, whenever you get a Jan, then what happens? It will become 2022. It becomes 2022. That's the problem. So here we need to apply one simple logic, guys, in the month. So year we already selected. For example, let's say 2021 or 2022 or 3, whatever you selected year, that is done. Now the next thing is month. Suppose if you take any month as an input, if this particular month is a previous month or a future month of this particular year, we need to find out. So whatever month we have given, this particular month is a previous month in this year or the future month in this year, we need to find out. So if you want to find this month is previous or future, you need to capture the current month. Okay, you need to capture the current month. From the current month, you can say it is a future or it is a past. So for that, in Java, there are some predefined methods are there. So for example, let's say if I give 2 months, let's say April I have given, January I have given. If I ask you which one is a lower month, April or Jan, which one will come first? Definitely will say January. If I ask you which one will come next, you will say April. But on what basis you are saying that? If I give January and month, we clearly know which one will come next, which will come, which is older, which is newer, right? But programming side, how our logic will know, right? So we need to find out. We need to find out which one is a future, which one is a old month, up to 1 to 12 months. So from January to December, we need to find which one is a old, which one is a future on this particular year. So for that, we need to do a small calculation by using built-in methods. So to do that, what we have to do is whatever month we have taken, this is our required month. We need to convert that into month object. In Java, we can convert this into month object. Currently, it is in string format. It is not an object actually, it's a string format. Now, only if month value is in object formats, then we can compare the months. We can compare the months. Okay, so how we can compare? Suppose whatever month I have given, suppose I have given an input as a Jan. Okay, we need to compare. So what is the comparison we need to do? We need to compare this with our current month. So you already have a current month. So you have already have a one current month. Current month in the sense April. So the current month is, for example, April. So I want to find January is a previous or January is a future. Okay. How we can compare is we need to compare this expected value with our current. Okay. So how we can compare? Expected month is what? January. Expected month is what? January. That we need to compare with the current month. Suppose if the January is less than April, what does it mean? If January is less than April, what does it mean? January is a past or future? Past. Okay. Suppose if I take June, if I take, okay, for example, let's say if I take June, okay, and June, if it's a June greater than June is what? Our expected month. And what is the current month? April. So we will compare June with the current month. If the June is greater than April, greater than current month, what does that mean? It is a future. That means this is our provided month. If the expected month, this is a calculation, guys. expected month. Both are expected months. Okay. Expected months. So whatever expected month, which is less than April, that should be past month. Whatever expected month, that should be, if it is greater than April, that should be future month. So this is the calculation we want to do. So expected month we have to take. Let's say this is our expected month. And April is the current month. April is a current month. So here expected month is less than your current month. So expected month is what? Past. If the expected month is greater than current month, that should be future. Is this clear, everyone? This calculation is very crucial, especially in this type of date picker. So expected month is less than current month. Expected month is less than current month. Then that is a past. You need to go to the past. That should be past. If the expected month is greater than current month, if the expected month is greater than current month, that is obviously future. This is the calculation we need to do now, especially for month. Okay. So expected month means what? As an input, what is the month we have taken? That is one. Expected month is less than current month. That is a past. Expected month is greater than current month. That is a future. Okay. But here the challenging thing is, we know the April is a current month, but how our automation script will know? So we need to get the current month dynamically. What is the current month? We need to extract by using built-in methods. So expected month, we will take anyway an input. Okay. Now the expected month, we have to compare with the current month. If it is a less than, that is a past month. If it is a greater than, that is a future month. So this is the calculation we have to do. But before that, we need to capture the current month. Current month you have to capture. And this is possible. This comparison is possible only if the values are in object, month type of object, not in the string format. If you cannot compare like this, Jan less than April. You cannot put like this. In if condition, if you put like this, it will compare the strings, not exact months. So based upon the alphabetical order, whichever comes first, that will take it as a lower one. So it will do string comparison if you do like this. So what we need to do, we need to convert this January into January object and April into April object. Then we can able to compare. Okay. So to convert every month into object type, we have to create one user defined method. Any month, even the expected month, we have to convert into month object. Even current month, we have to extract and convert it into object. Everything we have to convert it into month object. So for that, we have to create one user defined method. So keep this one side. Now we will create one user defined method, which will convert our month string to object, string to month object. So I will have one user defined method. I'll tell you what it exactly it is. I'll copy from here. So this is a user defined method which I have created. So let me explain what exactly it is. So this is a user defined function, or you can say user defined method for converting month from string to month object, string to month object. So what this will do is, it is a static method I'm creating so that I can directly call this from the class. Convert month, and this will take month as a string parameter. And after doing the process, finally it will return month in the month object. The return type is month. And this month also we need to import from java.time package. If you put the month, you can see java.time package we need to import. And hash map is a collection that we also import. So I'll tell you what exactly it is. We will take month as a parameter. And after that, we will create one hash map. And what this hash map contains, string and month. The first key should be string. The value should be month object. The value should be month object. So in the month map, this is the hash map. In this, I'll put a string type of month in string format and corresponding month object. Okay, if the month is January, corresponding object is what? Month dot January. And if the string is February, month is February, then corresponding object is what? Month dot February. If the month is a March, string is a March, then corresponding month object is month dot March. So like this, for 12 months, we have to keep 12 different month objects. And we will fill this hash map with this particular data. From January to December, for every month, there should be month object associated with this. And which one is a key? Which one is a value in this? This is a key. January, February, March. These are the keys and these are the values of the keys. So we need to maintain this data in a hash. That's the first thing. Now, we passed one month here in the string format. For example, I passed January here. Okay. And when you pass January, by taking that as a key, we need to extract the value. So how to extract this? So here we need to extract from the hash map, month, year, month map, get. From the hash map, how can we get the value? By using get. In the get method, we have to pass the key, right? When you pass the key, that will return the value of the key. So from the hash map, this is my hash map, get month. What is this month? Month is a parameter that I'm using as a key. So in the hash map, we are calling get method by passing the key. What is the key here? Month, whatever we pass. For example, January I have passed. So it will take January as a key. Now from the hash map, it will get the value of the key. What is the key here? January. So it will go here and return month dot January and month dot January. So that month dot January will store in a variable, and the type of this variable is what? Month. This is again predefined class, month. So finally, we converted month in the string format to month object format. Suppose if you pass invalid month, it is not matching with any of these options. So then if it is a null, then invalid month we will print. Then finally we return month object. So the return type is also month. Let me repeat once again. So first, our ultimate goal is we have to convert month from the string to month object. Otherwise, we cannot compare 2 months. Okay. If you compare months in the string format, that will not be accurate. So we have to compare month whether less than or greater than only through month objects. So for that, we need to convert any month with the object. So this particular user-defined method will help us to convert month from string to month object. How we have converted? We taken month in the string format. I maintain one hash map. In the hash map, I put this data. So for January month, this is the month object. Is a February, this is the month object. So for every month, there is a corresponding month object. Now, whatever month I have passed here, I'm taking that month as a key. So this is a hash map, month map dot get. From the hash map, I'm passing the key. What is the key here? Suppose if I pass January here, the key will become January. So from the January is a key. What is the value of January? Month dot January will be returned. So that I'm going to store in a variable, and the type of the variable is what? Month. Okay, if it is a null, return invalid month. If it is having month object, then return it. So return type is month. So this is the user-defined method which we have to use to convert month from string to month object. This is very crucial part in this. Okay, now come to the main class. Here we already selected. Now the next thing is what? We need to select month. We need to select month. So now we'll see how to select the month. Month. Okay, so to select the month, first of all, we need to check the month, current month we have to capture. After capturing the current month, we need to compare our expected month, whatever month it is. We need to compare this is a lower or higher or less than or greater than. We need to check. Okay. So for that, what we need to do, so there are multiple months are displayed here. So you can see in this date picker, this is the month. So we need to capture this first. So we need to convert the display month here. This is the display month. And this is our required month. So we need to compare these two after converting into objects. Strings we cannot convert. After converting to object, we need to compare. So what we need to do is I will call this method convert month. In this, I will just pass my required month. Sorry, display month. But before that, we need to capture the display month, right? So inspect this element. So capture this display. This is a span element, span class. So this is a span. At the rate class is what? For month. UI date picker hyphen month. UI date picker hyphen month. Semicolon. Okay, this is the XPath will give you month, display month. So I capture this driver dot find element by dot XPath and dot get text. So this is our display month. And what is the format of this? What is the format of this? String only, right? String only. So display month we capture as a format. Now this month we have to compare with our expected month or required month. So this is the display month on your application. Now we need to compare that with your required month. Okay, compare. And after comparison, then only you will know this is less than or greater than or higher or lower. So how to compare? Compare months. To compare months, we need to take the expected month. Okay, first we will compare this. Okay, so before comparing, this is the display month. Now we need to compare. So display month we captured, required month also we have. So both the things we need to compare. We need to convert actually. So we will convert required month and display month, okay, into month objects. Okay, so required month, because before comparing we have to convert them. So required month and then display month, both you have to convert. How to convert? So first let us convert. This is the display month, this is the required month. Just a second. Okay, so now let us take this required month first. And we have already created one method called convert month. So copy this, convert month. So here I will pass my required month. Okay, so this required month in the string format I'm passing. So what this will return? This will return the same month in the month object. It will return the same month, but month object, right? So this is the requirement or expected month, whatever it is. So I'm just giving a different name called expected month. And now what is the type of this variable? What's the type of this variable? String or month? Month. Okay, month type of variable. So now whatever required month I passed into this convert month, that is returned the same month in the month object. Same thing we do for display month also. So again, one more time, call this convert month. And we just pass this display month also in the string format. And that will return a variable. Okay, I call it as a current month. So whatever is displayed on the UI, on the date picker, I call it as a current month. Okay, and what is the type of this variable? This is again month type of variable. So what I have done here is, what I have done. So whatever the required month and display month on the UI, both have converted into month format. And not only this, whatever month you will get in the future or past, every month we have to do conversion. So for that, we need to write one for loop or while loop also. So I will put this display month we have to capture for all this stuff. I can put one while loop here. I'll making this condition every time true and open bracket and a close bracket because this we need to do in the looping statement. Okay, so I captured the display month from the date picker and convert expected month, converted required month and display month. The required month is nothing but whatever you want to select. Display month is nothing but whatever currently displaying in the UI, this one. So both I've captured and then converted. Now we need to do comparison. How we can compare? Okay, so how we can compare this? So our expected month, we need to compare with what? Current month. So in expected month, there is a method in the month object. What is that? Expected month dot compared to current month. So expected month compared to current month. So this will return either 0 or greater than 0 or equal to 0. Okay, this command will return either less than 0, greater than 0 or 0. Suppose if it is, if the comparison value is less than 0, then our expected month is past month. If the current of the comparison value is greater than 0, that is our future month. If the value is returns 0, that means our month is exactly equal to the expected month. So these are the three conditions we need to put. So this will return 0, 1, 0, less than 1 or greater than 1. Okay, three values it will return. So that I'm going to store in a variable. So I'm taking one variable. I can say result, for example. And the type of variable is integer I'm taking. I'll repeat once again, don't worry. So we converted required month and display month in the month object. So this is clear. Now we need to compare these two, expected month and current. As I told you the comparison here, right? This one we need to compare. So here, the comparison is three conditions we need to verify. What is the three condition? To compare these two, we use one method called expected month dot compare to current month. Expected month we are comparing with the current month. After comparison, this compare to method will return either -1 or 1 or greater than 1. Okay, suppose if it is returns 0, okay, so if the result is 0, then months are equal. Months are equal. So expected month and actual month both are same. Whatever our expected month here, required month, and whatever the display month, both are same. If this result is 0 after comparison. Okay, suppose if the result is greater than 1, because when it will say greater than 1, because if there is a difference between these two months, the difference will be returned. So if that result value is greater than 1, sorry, greater than 0, sorry, not 1, greater than 0, then it is a future month. Okay, our required month is future. Now suppose if the result value is less than 0, then it is a past month. Okay, so if the result value is 0, then required month and display month both are same. If the result value is greater than 0, whatever we are required, that is a future month. If the value is less than 0, then that is a past month. So this is a calculation. So based on that, we need to put one condition. So if the result value less than 0, okay, first I will put less than, greater than, and then 0. So less than 0, then what is nothing but we need to select the past month. Okay, else if result value is greater than 0, we need to select the future month. Else, suppose result is 0, equivalent, then months are equal. Then what we need to do? We need to break the loop because we no need to go forward and backward. So if result is less than 0, what? Past month. So here we need to write a script for past. So how can we select the past month from the drop down? We go back to the drop down. So inspect this element. This is the element. Okay, this is a previous button. So this is the one I want to click. Span class equal to this one. So this is a previous button, right? So I just want to click on this. Right. So this is the link I want to click. This one. So go back. So if the result less than 0, past month we have to select. Past month in the sense driver dot find element by dot xpath, specify the xpath dot click. Okay, if the result is greater than 0, it is a future month. So we need to select the future month. Go back and take this element. And this is a xpath. So same statement, but xpath is changed. Okay. And else break. So this while loop we have to close somewhere here. I'll repeat once again, don't worry. So this is all part of the while loop. So while is true, we are getting the display month and current month is already there. Display month, our requirement is already there. So we're converting them into month format. Then we are comparing our expected month with the current month, comparing. After comparing, if you are getting some result, you will get. If the result value is a 0, then required month, the display month is same. So we should stop breaking the loop. So if it is 0, we are breaking the loop. And suppose if the result value is less than 0, that means it is the past month. If the result is greater than 0, that is a future month. So we need to click on the future button. And if it is a past, we need to click on the past button. So this will repeat till expected and display month is equal. Okay. And whenever it is equal, the result comparison will be 0. Then it will break the loop. And here, while loop is got broken. So here the while loop is got broken. So comparison, here we are not, this is a method actually. Expected month is a month and this is a month. We are compared to is a method. It will basically compare the months, not a strings. Okay, when you compare the months, it will basically return the difference. For example, January, February, March. If we take January, March, what is the difference between these three? March is the third month, January is the first month. 3 minus 2 is what? 1. In between these 2 months, 1 is there. Like that, the compare to method will return the difference between these two difference between these 2 months. So that's the reason I've taken this variable as an integer. Difference in the sense the difference will always be in the integer format. Okay, so the compare to method always return an integer. Why? Because it will return the difference between 2 months. So how it will know? The compare to method will do that. So the compare to method, the job of the compare to method is that one only. It will compare the 2 months and return the difference. That's the purpose of compare to. See, if I ask you, if I write a string dot length, so what is the length method will do? It will find the length of a string and return the length in the integer form. Okay, if I ask you how it is finding the length of a string, that's how the length method is got designed. Similarly, here compare to method is also designed like that. Compare to method will compare the 2 months and return the difference. That's how the compare to method is got designed. This is a predefined method, which is present in the month class. Okay, that's the reason the expected month and current month should be in the month type of objects, and compare to method will compare these two objects and return a difference in that object, which is a result. Got my point? So if this result value is 0, then we are getting expected month and actual month same. So we are breaking the loop. And if the result value is less than 0, then we are expecting that month is a past. So we should click on the past button. If the result value is greater than 0, then we are getting that future month. So we have to click on the future button. So based on the condition, we have to decide this. After comparing the 2 months. So compare to method will compare the 2 months and return an integer because it's a difference. Okay, so this is the internal implementation of this compare to method. We don't need to know how this compare to method is got implemented, but we have to know how to use this method to compare the two methods. If you have a 2 months, you can easily compare and find the difference. So this method will do that job. Okay, so this particular while will decide year and month. And what else is left? Dates. We did not convert every 12 months in this loop. No, all 12 months we have not converted. See, as soon as you open this date picker, by default, you will get 1 month. See, you are getting 1 month here. We captured this. We capture this and we convert it here and compare this. Okay. Suppose, for example, our month is a past month. So this condition is matched. Then it is clicked on the past. So what it is done, it is clicked on this button. Now we got another month. So now again what we have done, again this loop is repeated, again capture the month, again convert it, again compare the result. So this conversion will happen in every iteration for every month which is specified in the date picker. How many times it will repeat? Till expected month and required month. Both should be equal. Till that time, this loop will repeat. As soon as both are equal, then else block will execute and it will break the loop. Yes. So the value of the months will be changed by the condition because every time you will get the new month when you click on these buttons. Every time you will get a new month. So we'll, as soon as you get a new month, get it, convert it, and then compare it based on the result. Again, click on the button. You will decide. We need to click on the previous button. We need to click on the future button, or we need to stop clicking on the button. So based upon the result, we have to decide. Okay, so this logic will select month and year. So now we will think about date. Date is very simple. So what we can do is we need to take this entire table, collect all the, this is basically a table. You can see that is a table. Capture this table. So I can take this table / table @ class UI date picker calendar. So this will select the table, and inside the table we have a T body. So let's go to T body. Same process. Previously, how we have done same thing. In the T body, we have to extract all the TRs. You can say TR. And in every TR, there is a TD tag. In every TD, maybe there is a link. Yeah, anchor tag is there. So in every TR, we need to go to TD. In every TD, we have to go to anchor tag. So this will return all the dates from this date picker. So we will collect it. So driver dot find elements by dot xpath, and this will return all dates. And type of this variable is list of web element. So logic is a little bit complex, okay, but you need to understand this. Date comparison is most important. So we got all the dates. Now we need to just write one enhanced for loop to get each and every date and select whichever date you want. All the dates. And this is a web element. DT I'm taking some variable. Import this as a web element. Okay, so now if condition, if this dt dot get text dot equals, so what is the date we are expecting is this one. Initially we specified required date, that we need to compare. If it is required date, then what we should do, we should dt dot click, and after that break the loop. Suppose if the condition is not matched, we need to get another date. So that for that, we no need to write anything. So for all the dates, it will get first date, get the text, compare with our expected date, required date. If it is matching, click on it, then break the for loop. If it is not matching, then it will again go up and get another date, again compare it, click it and break. So this will loop will repeat multiple times. So this is date selection. This is for date selection. This is for what? Year selection and then month selection. So now you can put everything in one user defined function. So I will just remove everything, year, month and date selection, everything. I'll remove from this main method. And this is one user defined method we created, right? So convert month. Similarly, I will create one more user defined method here. Static void select date. Okay, in this, I will put everything. So what are the parameters we required? Driver, web driver, driver we required, and year. Year is what? String type. And then we need year in month and string type date. So three parameters we require. String month, string date. So three parameters. So here, okay. So we use the different variables here. So required year means this one. And required month means this one. What else? Date. Required date means this one. Okay. So year, month, and date. So three parameters we have to pass in the select date. Now this will do everything. So this logic will do everything. And two user defined methods we created. And now we need to just call only one method. After clicking on this, then select date. The selected date is a method which we created. In this, we have to pass four parameters. First parameter is driver. Second parameter is year. This is the year we have to pass. Next, we have to pass this required month. Next, we have to pass required date. Three parameters. That's it. So now this selected date method will be called. It will come here. In the selected date, again, internally, we are calling convert month. So this convert month will be executed from here. So totally two different user defined methods which we have created. So now let us test this code with the different dates, month, everything. So for now, I'm just giving previous month, previous year, month and date. 2021, June 15. Let's take a small one. Let's say 2022, June 15. Mm. 2021, June 15. See now, 06 is representing a month, 15 is a date, 2022 is got selected. Perfectly fine. Now let's say the future one. Let's say 2025. 2025, June 15. See, 2025, 06 is a June, 15 is a date. So this logic is perfectly working. Just we need to pass data and the code itself will find out whether it is a future, past. So in this particular case, we don't have any problem. Okay, so we can select a future one and can select past one, whichever it is, we can simply handle this. Okay, but as I said before, one date picker can handle either past or future. Both are not possible at the same time. Okay, but if you still want to handle this, you can implement logic like this, future and past. So this is all about date pickers. So we can practice, so many designs are there. So many designs you can practice. Accordingly, you need to change the logic. If you know how to implement the logic, you can handle any type of date pickers. Okay. So based on this, I will give you a few assignments on date pickers. You guys can try them. So this is the assignment. And in this, you can find auto suggestions and date picker, auto suggestion drop down box, and also date picker, both. You can just go to this page. So in this, there is a flight hotel, right? So click on this both. Once you click on the both, you can see from to departure. Okay, and from, if I click on here, suppose I say Delhi, first you type 1 or 2 characters, it will display some options like this. And you can select whichever option you want based upon your requirement. So these options are auto suggestions. Okay, you can select one of these options like this. Now, second one, I can say first few letters I type like this. I pass and then auto suggestions will happen. Now I'll select one of them. So I can select one of them. Then departure date, can just click on it. So this is a date picker and you can see month is also dropped down. Year is also dropped down. There is no problem in this case. There is no much complex logics. Very simple. So departure date, I'm selecting 2023 and whichever month you want, you can select like this. And 2023 is a old one, right? Last year. But still it is able to select here. Why? Because this is just a demo purpose they have given. But actually departure date is 2024. We can give. So try to handle this. Both are drop down. You don't need to write a complex logic. Select year from the drop down, select month from the drop down, and capture the dates and select one of the date. Very simple. And these are the two auto suggestions you can handle. Type one small 1 or 2 characters, it will display all the, for example, if I display rest of the auto suggestions like this, from the auto suggestions, you can select whichever you want. Okay. And this is also date picker. So now this is a different one. You can see this is one type of date picker. Here we can select the month and here you can select the year. But here if you come down, check in and check out. Here month is a drop down, but year is a number. Okay, now what we need to do now? We need to capture only the year, compare with your expected year. If it is not matching, click on it. If I click on this arrow marks, see the month is, year is not changing. Only month is changing, but year is also changing after 12 clicks. After 12 clicks, year is changing. See? So here first you need to check the year. First you need to go to the expect. Suppose I want to select 2025 June. So you need to click on this button till you get the 2025. So once you get a 2025, now go to the drop down and select whichever month you want like this. So you can handle this and check out also same kind of a drop down is there. So try to handle this as an assignment. So this is your first assignment. So this is our first assignment. Now the second assignment. So this is the end-to-end application. If I go back, so this is also ticket booking application, dummy ticket booking application. In this form, you can find all the elements, whatever so far we covered from the beginning. See, first you need to select the one of the checkbox, radio buttons. You can select one of the radio button like this and enter the first name, last name, and date of birth. You can see this is another date picker. You can select year from drop down. Also, you can select a month from the drop down and then capture the years and click on one of this. This is date of birth. And this is male and female radio buttons checkbox. And this is also from city to city. You can provide the cities, departure date. This is also drop. This is also date picker. There are multiple date pickers are there in this form. You can write one single logic, same method. You can call multiple times for multiple date pickers. So this is one date picker. And then there is another date picker. So this is one date picker, departure date. And if you scroll down, there are multiple date pickers. You can see that. This one date picker. This is another date picker, appointment submission. And again, billing address is input box, phone input box, email address, country is a drop down. And this is a different type of drop down. You can see. So once we need to click on it, and whichever option you want to select, write an XPath for that option, then press click button. So this will select the button like this. Zip number, town, address, you can specify, country drop down. So try to handle this and don't click on place order. Nothing will happen. This is because it's a dummy table. Once you click on place order, nothing is happened. Okay, so try to handle these all elements which are there in the page so that you will be more familiar with elements. So from city is not auto suggestion here. You can directly type full form. Okay, you need to write complete value. It's not auto suggestion. It's a normal input box. You can use send keys method to fill that input box. Okay, I will give you the solutions also. You can try this. So this is the second one. So all the elements are present in this particular form. Okay, so try all these assignments and whatever we discussed during the last sessions, during this last week and this week, practice everything during this weekend, Saturday, Sundays. And next class, we will discuss the rest of the things. Okay, so that's it for today's session. I will stop it and we will continue the next class.